That was weird. Hello! Okay. Before I turn into Hector the Horrid. Certainly don't want to become that, and that is certainly not who I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm going to be speaking about sort of a variety of things on today's video. Gurus, Pepods, and segregation. So let me begin by talking about the first one on that list, which is guru. Now, a guru is a spiritual teacher, a spiritual guide, someone who is here to give wisdom and insight and meaning to people's lives. And the guru that I'm specifically talking about is Saguru. Now, spelling is so important. It's not sad guru, but Saguru. Now, let me just find a little bit of an image for you. I'm not giving anything away or anyone away. This is the image. Now, the reason why I am speaking about Saguru is because this is a spirituality channel, and I had a dream last night. Now, we all have dreams, and there's meaning in your dreams. When we dream, we have mental images and experiences that are I believe, are unconscious. And it's sort of a world that we create on our own that sort of tells us messages about, intuitive messages and wisdom that in one way or another applies to your life. Certain events or experiences or fears, that you may have, or anxieties. And, the other thing too is, what about, I'm just suggesting this, what about Mercury retrograde? It's sort of dream time. When Mercury goes back over a step, it's dream time. Dream time. I mean, you're sort of going through a metacognition of your thoughts. In one form, in the real life form, in the dream form is at night when you're sleeping. Now, that's a little bit of a tidbit there. So, part of my dream had to do with seeing my grandparents. Another part of the dream had to do with hang gliding. And witnessing, trying to fly a plane or fly in the air and to go to this island and not hit a tree and not get caught in the tree, but to land the plane or helicopter on solid land. That's one thing I remember from the dream. The other thing I remember is, did I get in a fight with my parents or grandparents? And then, what I can remember from the dream was getting very kind of entitled, kind of arrogant, and not the most humble. And this is where I'm gonna I just wanted to show you this because this is such an important image, and I'm going to play the song for you on the piano, and hopefully you can hear it. This is the Guru song. So this is sort of a mishmash combination video for today. So this is the Guru song. This piano is just so bad. It's old. Kind of has a lot of wear and tear on it, but anyway. Okay, this is the right key. I'm going to use the key of D. I'm going to use the key. Da, 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 That's the key that I'm going to use. Ready? And this is the song. This is so bad. Forget it. Forget it. Forgo that idea. But gurus. So I was entitled, I was not very humble. I was not very open-minded or open-hearted. And then along came Seguru, who then showed me a Peapod. I mean, what does a Peapod have to do with anything? I mean, I can remember it was this green pod with, like, green peas in it. Did it have to do with new life? Does it have to do with, being in beginner mind? Does it have to do with innocence? Does it have to do with, humility? Does it have to do with life coming in one form and ending in another? Does it have to do with changing cycles? I mean, what is the meaning? What was the meaning of that? So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. All the things I question are actually the conclusion as well. It represented, for me, because it's so small and so kind of vulnerable and not almighty and all powerful, and they don't have all the answers. Like, we don't have all the answers. So maybe that was what was indicated and taught to me in the dream. And I can also remember it was a rainy day, and I was sort of moving away from home. And then it's as if, I'm sort of taking on, Heather, Ensworth's verbiage, but, so please excuse me. But it's as if he was guiding me back home to, to be in connection with family. Okay, now, see what happens when you try to be something that's not yourself? Try to be somebody else that's not you? Yeah. So, yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah. But, anyway, I mean, and I think it's what I said in my, I remember this so vividly. I just want to propose that when you go through a Mercury retrograde phase, so from the pre-shadow, the actual Mercury retrograde, and the post-shadow, it doesn't have to be what is astronomically and astrologically going on cosmically. It doesn't have to be the official Mercury retrograde. It can be, okay, pre-shadow, the evening. The retrograde is at night when you're sleeping and you're dreaming. The post-shadow is when you wake up and you're sort of recounting and um and integrating and remembering the dream of what you have experienced and recounting it and going back to it. So I said, I remember saying this. The older you are, the more value of what you say there is. The older you are, the more, the older that you are, the more your words have value. Your words have more value because you've grown and you became wiser over the years. And it's distilled into this wisdom. And so I said that, and then my brain was like, okay, or the, cosmic universe, higher power, higher consciousness within my brain, which is, just juxtaposed because it's really, in your heart and your soul down here. But it's like, okay, you said that, I'm going to give you something for your thoughts. So I had that dream last night, and boom, I was like, I am in the presence of a guru, and there is only so much substance for me to have, and I need to let go of that and release attachment from that, surrender, drop into my heart, open up, and learn. So, that's important. And I do want to say it over again because it is coming up. I am way less of an intellectual than Colin Bedell. I'm going to say that again. I am way less of an intellectual than Colin Bedell. I mean, if you hear our communication styles, what's the difference? Oh, here's the difference. I have Mercury in Taurus. Astrologically speaking, I speak slower. My communication style is more, to the point and more deliberate. And I don't want to say that I put more, heart and feeling into what I'm saying. But, I'm just kind of speaking from what I think. I'm not trying to put expressatory emotional bias into what I'm saying, because I certainly don't want to do that to anyone, really. But anyway, that was the dream. And that's what a guru is, and that's what a Peapod is. Now, let's get to the final part of this video, which is, racism. I do want to say that for those who were segregated, let's hope that they had a spiritual practice of, meditating and journaling and dropping into their heart and finding peace and finding surrender and tranquility with what is, and being peaceful and spiritually powerful instead of, destructive and, egoic with what was going on, because certain situations and certain, forces of power were above them and beyond their control. And so some things you can change how you think about it, as opposed to the things that you can actually change. And the serenity of prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I can change. I cannot change. Courage to change the things I can, and a wisdom to know the difference. And you can change your state of mind, you can change your state of being, you can change how you feel and how you think about a given situation. But some things are out of your control. And when you can find the empowering and positive factors in the disempowering and inheritance arenas of life, that's huge. So that is all that I have for you today. Bye for now.